Please stand for the invocation. Heavenly Father, we thank you for this joyous gathering. We thank you for these remarkable 98 young men and women. We thank you for the families, teachers, and friends who made this whole day possible. As we gaze into the horizon beyond this day, help these graduates to find not only personal fulfillment, but also the lasting joy which comes from the service to others. May these graduates continue to grow in clarity of mind, openness of heart, and depth of soul. Shed your light, O Lord, upon this congregation, and may we carry your light with us wherever we go. Amen. Please join me in the singing of America the Beautiful.
Please be seated. Good morning. And on behalf of the entire faculty and the Board of Trustees, welcome to the 109th commencement exercises of St. Anne's Belfield School. We have ordered up a perfect day today to honor and celebrate the 98 members of the class of 2019. As I do each year, I share this favorite quote from author Houston Smith, which always seems fitting on this bittersweet occasion of commencement. He writes, "Ritual smooths life's transitions as perhaps nothing else can. Ritual, with its prepared score to orchestrate the occasion, channels our actions and feelings when solitude would be unbearable." Well, there is no solitude today as we say farewell to our seniors at this ritual of graduation. And the CCC overflows with more than 1,000 people to celebrate the remarkable class of 2019. My own late spring ritual is the same each year. I scan the senior section in Grisham Hall during the last moving up chapel, and I look at every senior's face, all the while reflecting on each one's journey through our school, be it 16 years long or 2. and how each one has impacted our community. And it is with each senior's story that the story of the senior class as a whole emerges. And with the class of 2019, the story, their theme, if you will, emerged very quickly. And it was one of courage. And courage in many forms. In one form, it is the courage to overcome obstacles and indeed tragedy, individually and collectively. Your class has experienced unprecedented tragedy with the deaths of two dear classmates and two dear friends, Jackson Buckaloo and Hans Ellis, when many of you were in 5th and 6th grades. Through these unprecedented tragedies, your class showed tremendous love for the families of Jackson and Hans, and tremendous love for one another, as Piper spoke of last evening. What courage beyond your years that you showed as you have kept their memories alive. I know that many of you visited Hans's and Jackson's trees out at Adonisio Field before the ceremony to tie ribbons, and you have reserved 2 chairs for them on either side. They are surrounded by their classmates and their friends. And we are also so pleased to welcome Hans's sister Essence, his aunt Manisha, his cousin Aliana, who are here with us today in the front row. It's wonderful to have you here. Hans and Jackson are both very, very much with all of us here today and are woven into the fabric of this class. You have also shown that you have the courage to be yourselves, each one of you to be your own true, real, authentic, unapologetic self. And in each example of brave individuality, in each example of comfort in one's own skin, as a collective whole, you have shown respect and admiration for one another. There is arguably no greater gift that friends and classmates can give to each other than to allow you to be yourself, creating the unique, diverse, and essential components of the larger whole. It takes courage to proudly and loudly be your authentic self. I applaud all of you for creating the culture to do just that. And finally, I echo what Mr. Q shared last night, and I applaud the courage you have displayed in telling your own stories to our community. If there is a way perhaps to summarize this legacy that your class has left, it is found in this quote: "The courage it takes to share your story might be the very thing someone else needs to open their heart to hope." So many of you have opened your hearts to us, in chapels certainly, but in classrooms, in advisories, countless conversations. In having the courage to share your stories, you have inspired the students who will follow you, for them to hope, the courage for them to be themselves, to have the fortitude, the optimism to overcome obstacles, tragedies, disabilities, and more, lifted by the support of friends and families, to persevere and become our best selves. Thank you for opening your hearts to us, for displaying the courage beyond your years to inspire and to ensure us that traveling down dusty trails leads us to a golden highway. Your courage is only one example of the many gifts that you have brought to our community, the talents that you have shared, and the achievements we have had the pleasure to witness in this class. You are gifted musicians, artists, singers, songwriters, and thespians, displaying your talents on the Grisham Hall stage, the Fisher Black Box Theater, in local theater, community choirs, and orchestras, while receiving all-state orchestra and choir recognitions along the way. In this class, we have all-league, all-state, all-American athletes Division I scholarship athletes, league and state championships across a range of sports. You are community event organizers, symposium leaders, tom-tom pitch winners, hackathon mentors, and TAs. You are role models for our youngest students, be it as a classroom intern, a guest teacher, or part of your senior internship. You have researched and shared senior capstones and independent studies, revealing new areas of research and learning. Your academic achievements have extended beyond our school, up to Woods Hole in Massachusetts, into local and regional and national competitions, winning awards for your hard work. You have pushed yourselves to expand your horizons. You have tried a new sport. You were in the play or the musical for the first time. Maybe you were an enchanted object. You ventured into a new academic course. You have forged unexpected friendships. You rallied the spirit of the school, encouraged attendance at games, performances, and open mic nights, and through your spirited and sometimes funny announcements, led the school with enthusiasm, that was a joke, energy, and mutual support for one another's endeavors. Your community service has amounted to thousands and thousands of hours of helping others, including just this small sample of causes: Habitat for Humanity, Boys and Girls Club, Camp Holiday Trails, the SPCA, The Haven, Meals and Wheels, Martha Jefferson and UVA hospitals, international neighbors, church service trips, local, state, and national political campaigns. Hundreds of thousands of dollars of scholarships sit on these risers, be they for your academic, artistic, and athletic achievements, for your leadership, for your community service. You have been school leaders in countless ways, formal and informal, on student councils, as prefects, with honor cases, with our school spirit, and on committees. So before we head into individual recognitions and eventually our diplomas, let us all take a moment to look on these risers, to appreciate the entirety of this group, all of these seniors as a collective whole. Will you please join me in thanking and celebrating this proud and prepared thundering herd of elephants, the class of 2019. Thank you. We continue this morning by recognizing a number of families for their distinctive commitment to the school. 6 families from this year's senior class have had children at St. Anne's Belfield for 25 or more student years, worthy of induction into what we call our quarter-century club. And after all these years, this will be their final commencement. Will these parents please stand when I call your names so we can recognize your long association with the school, and please hold your applause until the end. Elizabeth and Matt Singleton, 26 years. Laura and Anthony Spinelli, 26 years. Lisa and David Jones, 28 years. Penny and Robert Schwagel, 29 years. Dania Chastain Strasberg and David Strasberg, 30 years. Fran and Bill Carden, 49 years. Please join me in thanking them. Another special group that we now wish to recognize is our Sandbox students. Those students in our senior class who have been enrolled since preschool, kindergarten, or first grade. They are the foundation of their class, certainly examples of commitment and school spirit, and this year we celebrate 17 of them. So Sandboxers, please stand when I call your names, and please again hold your applause until the end. Kat Carden, Hannah Clark, Casey Gartland, Tatum Jones, Kennedy Jurek, Chloe Lowell, McKenna Massey, Quint McNeely, Taylor Morris, Sarah Schwagel, Ayla Singleton, Van Spinelli, Ashlyn Stoles, Celia Strasberg, Olivia Strasberg, Andrea Tache Lopez, Justin Williams. Our class of 2019 Sandboxers. It is now my honor to introduce today's commencement speaker, Ms. Sarah Johns of the class of 1999. Ms. Johns is one of the rare trifectas of St. Anne's Belfield. She is an alumna, a former faculty member, and a longtime board-level volunteer. She has already had a distinguished career and an almost full, her word, lifetime of learning, and has stayed connected to alma mater and continues to invest her time in its future. She has lived, learned, and worked in Washington, D.C., Baltimore, Charlottesville, Crest, and Paris, and has practiced law in the areas of higher education and healthcare and life sciences, served as a law clerk to U.S. District Judge J. Frederick Motz in the District of Columbia, and interned at the Arlington Immigration Court, Executive Office for Immigration Review within the U.S. Department of Justice. Currently, Ms. Johns is Assistant Attorney General and Associate University Counsel at Virginia Commonwealth University. In each of these instances, she has drawn from her experience here, teaching French, Latin, and Pilates, and coaching field hockey at St. Anne's Belfield School from 2006 to 2009. Sarah graduated from St. Anne's in 1999, from the University of Virginia in 2003 with a BA in Classics and a minor in Bioethics, from New York University in Paris in 2006 with a Master of Arts in French Language and Civilization, and from UVA School of Law in 2012 with a Juris Doctorate. Since then, she has continued gradually to learn life's path. And as a former Latin teacher, she wants me to emphasize that the Latin for step, gradus, is the root for to graduate, to take a step, and also the root for gradually, step by step. Her own gradual learning comes from reading and listening to others. Personally, I have benefited from her wisdom, candor, multiple areas, as you know, of expertise, love of alma mater, and overall generosity and kindness. And I am so pleased that she accepted our invitation to speak today. Please join me in welcoming back from the class of 1999, Ms. Sarah Johns.
Gonna get set up here. Hold on a minute. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Yeah. Good morning, graduates, and good morning, graduates. I'll be shaking your hands in a minute. Have you guys taken a look out there? Taken a breath? Take a deep breath. Look out there. It's pretty impressive. I have to admit that I do not remember much of what was said at my own graduation or the very nice ceremonies the night before. But listening to what the folks on this stage and some out there have said about you last night and again this morning, you all have inspired some very thoughtful words, and I'm impressed by you from listening to them. First of all, Mr. Laurie, thank you for the very kind and thorough introduction, for your leadership of the school, and for inviting me to speak today. Members of the Board of Trustees, families, and friends of the graduates who are here, thank you for coming to witness this occasion. Faculty and staff, my own teachers, my former colleagues, those who've joined since, thank you all for your brilliant and hard work in preparing today's graduates for tomorrow and beyond. Finally, graduates, good morning again. I've come to do 3 things. First, of course, to congratulate you on your very many accomplishments that make up your careers here at St. Anne's. They are different and impressive, and I hope you are very proud. Second, I come to welcome you to the community of alums. We are a small but mighty group. I'm glad to have you. In fact, I was here just a few weeks ago for my own 20th reunion, the class of 1999, and it is with great joy that I will look forward to seeing you all in 5 years when you return for your 5th reunion and my class is celebrating our 25th. Finally, I come to offer you a few words that may be useful as you begin your next chapters. As you just heard, I provide legal advice to a university. That means that I spend most of every day thinking about people like you who finish high school and are carving out their next steps on the path of life. There are so very many paths you may take, and each of them has great value. For the past few months, I've been thinking about you seniors. I've read about you on the school's website. I've spoken with some of your teachers. And please hear me say now that your teachers care so deeply for you and are very proud that you have persisted to achieve your goals. I dare not tell your stories of personal struggles in public. They are yours to tell when you are ready. But gosh, I expect that when you are ready to tell them, we will all learn something about life from you. I reread Hamlet because someone told me you all read that this year. While it was a nice review of my own 12th grade English class, don't worry, I'm not here to lecture you about Hamlet today. This is not a soliloquy. I'm here to speak to you, and I invite each of you to come and engage in conversation with me sometime between now and the end of your 5-year reunion. I'm in Richmond, and I have a phone and email. Based on my research, though, I found that we have a few things in common. For one, we all want this talk to be over very soon. And on that note, I assure you that Mr. Laurie assigned me to about 6 to 8 minutes, and I'm nearly halfway through. Take another deep breath. Second, we all engaged in challenging academic pursuits here at St. Anne's. For me, my junior and senior years here were in many ways tougher than any of my 9 years of undergraduate and graduate education since then, except maybe the first year in law school. So you are, as I was, very prepared for academic, professional, and other challenges ahead. Know that. Third, none of us knows for sure who we'll be when we grow up. That's okay too. One more commonality is that we're all writing a book. Don't worry if yours is, like mine, not written in paper or electronic form. I visualize a version of this book that I've seen at summer camp. Camp Holiday Trails, I hear, is familiar to at least one of you in this class. It's made of construction paper, bound with yarn, and on the front, in big block letters, it says, "The Book of Firsts." Maybe one of you is nodding because you've seen this, and there are others, I'm sure, around this world. On its pages, campers and counselors alike wrote about what they had experienced for the first time while at camp. I caught a fish. I rode a horse. I got to the top of the climbing wall. I climbed halfway up the climbing wall. I spent a whole week away from my family for the first time. Now, even those of us who have caught many fish, climbed a rock wall many times, ridden many horses, and even lived away from home, can recognize and honor those new experiences of others. We may remember our own first times doing those things, or we may compare them to others of our own. We may remember the feelings that come along with first occasions like these, feelings of anticipation, maybe frustration at unsuccessful attempts, maybe fear of possible failure. We also feel pride in the accomplishment and joy in learning something new. Through this, we grow stronger, wiser, and more prepared for what is to come. So I said, you've each been writing your own book of firsts, even if you didn't know it. While in school, everyone in this room and many others provides guidance about what should go in your book. But you've been writing each chapter about a different one of your firsts: academic, athletic, social, and others. For example, looking back, you may remember the first time that you presented research to your class, memorized a passage, ran a mile or a mile and a half in your goal time, thanks to Coach Blake for me, raced with a kindergartner on your back at field day. Do you still do that? Yeah, okay. It's a first. Wore formal attire to a dance, had a conversation with someone whose native language is different from yours, and maybe you even communicated in both your native language and in theirs, or maybe in some third mutual language. And you may remember setting foot into a professional setting for your first time for your senior internship. In thinking about these chapters in your book of firsts, and others I'm sure that come to mind, do you remember the anticipation, the frustration, and the fear? And also the pride and joy? Have you noticed that you are stronger, wiser, and more prepared for what is to come? Along with these happy and sought-after firsts may come others. You may also remember the first time you failed a test or a quiz, the first time you didn't do your homework and your teacher didn't notice. Through each one of these first experiences, too, we grow stronger, wiser, and more prepared for what is to come. Indeed, each first experience becomes a part of who we are and who we will become. Now, as you sit here today, think about the chapters you've already written in your book of firsts, how varied and interesting they are, and how they are a part of who you are today. Think, too, about the books that your friends and classmates are writing. Each is different, even though you are likely characters in some of the chapters of each other's books, and you celebrate those firsts together. As you go forth and begin writing your next chapters, choose new experiences that will expand your horizons. Honor those feelings of anticipation, as well as the joy of growing stronger, wiser, and more prepared for what is to come. Think, too, about what kind of character you want to be in the chapters written by those around you. Your friends and classmates and coworkers, of course, but also your families, your professors, your supervisors. Keep in mind that they, too, experience the anticipation and the joy. They, too, grow stronger and wiser because of them and because of you. I'll close by thanking you for sitting here with me today, and by doing so, for becoming characters in this chapter of my book. Those of you who did love Hamlet may call this a play within a play. To each and every one of you graduating today, I offer my heartfelt congratulations and the best wishes for the chapters to come. I look forward to hearing about them.
Thank you, Sarah. It is now my pleasure to present our Graduation Day faculty and staff recognitions. Given each year in honor of someone who exemplified selfless service behind the scenes, the Michael E. Waylett Service Award honors extraordinary dedication and service by those individuals whose positive impact on our school occurs outside the classroom. Every room and space in our school is a classroom. Some teach more explicit lessons like reading and math and science or arts and music, and even some the lessons teamwork and competition and physical fitness. Other spaces teach us more subtle lessons when we are learning without even realizing that we are, and that is because we are in the presence of kindness, diligence, and selflessness. This year's Michael Waylett Award recipient exemplifies all of these and more, and in our quiet interactions with her, we become a better person as a result. In our Learning Village dining hall, and at countless special school events, She is the embodiment of kindness. Everything she does is about you, not her, and how she can help someone else. Humble, dedicated, selfless, she works behind the scenes to improve everyone's experience and does so with a permanent smile, a joy in the work she does, and the satisfaction of a job well done. I have learned so much from knowing her and interacting with her and seeing her work with such commitment and joy. And today's award gives us all the chance to celebrate her quiet role in our community. The 2019 Waylet Award for Dedicated Service Behind the Scenes goes to Kasema Yeridich. Thank you. The Pam Malone Prize is voted upon by the past recipients of the Malone Prize and is awarded each year in memory of one of St. Anne's Bellfield's most treasured and admired teachers. It is given to a member of our school community in recognition of that individual's loyalty, service, and contribution to the life of the school. And certainly loyalty, service, and contribution are words that only just begin to describe the impact of this longtime faculty member on literally hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of students. Her service to the school began in 1987. And in that year began a historic tenure that embodies what Pam Malone brought to the school. Dedication to St. Anne's Belfield, a bottomless investment in the students she taught and coached, an insistence on excellence and a commitment to the highest standards. For her, these high aspirations happen in many places: in the PE classroom, as a department chair, as an advisor, as a grade level dean. Much of her impact happened on the field, lacrosse and field hockey to be specific, and it was in these arenas that she taught her players to do far more than just win, to the tune of 15 LIS championships, 3 state championships, an overall record of 442 wins and 106 losses. But she taught them to play and to win with integrity as a team, and as a result of focused preparation and insistence on maximum effort and commitment to one another. Athletics presents students unique learning opportunities, and no one knows more about the lifelong impact that a coach can have on the development of a child than she. We are proud to present the 2019 Pam Malone Prize to Ms. Mary King Blake. First awarded in 1987, the Diana Edward Smith Teaching Mastership is the highest teaching award that we give in an academic year. It recognizes the expertise of a master teacher and a passionate commitment to the students of St. Anne's Belfield School. Expertise, mastery, passionate commitment. all can only just start to describe this year's recipient. He loves what he teaches and models for his students the joy that comes from knowing a subject deeply, be it world literature, history, politics, Spanish, or the nuances of current events. He is a master teacher in the classroom, designing lessons and engaging activities that respect the subject at hand, encourage deep learning, inspire engagement, and put the interests of students first. It is no exaggeration to say that he is one of the most admired, respected, trusted, and valued colleagues on our entire faculty, sought after for advice, guidance, and support, and always reliable for a good laugh. He is deeply, endlessly committed to his students, be they in his classes or in his family advisory, or in Model UN, any other team, club, or activity. How many times have I seen him in the Hum 10 room, one-on-one with a student, possibly from Hum 10, maybe a seminar, it could be Model UN, maybe a capstone or independent study student, or perhaps just someone who wanted his particular sage advice and kind support. It is no surprise that when he stepped up to sing his lines this year for the senior faculty song, Grisham Hall turned into a BTS concert, and the students went wild. And it was just because it was him who had the microphone. It is just one example of how much he is liked, and today we celebrate him as a true master teacher. The 2019 Diana Smith Mastership goes to Mr. John Schaup. Okay, it's time. It is time to award the diplomas to the class of 2019. Mr. Peter Quagliaroli will read the names of our seniors, and Mr. Frank Edmonds, the chair of the Board of Trustees, will present the diplomas to our graduates.
Will the class of 2019 please stand? Audrey Veronica Antisberger. Elizabeth Grace Ayildas. Elizabeth Daly Singleton. Kim Huang Sun. Van Ryan Spinelli. Ashlyn Jill Stoltz. Cecilia Chastain Strasberg. Olivia Chastain Strasberg. Andrea Michelle Tache Lopez. Menyazbol Mulugeta Taye. Ashley Noel Taylor. Jefferson Dalton Taylor. Wait Bell Timberlake the Fifth. Mariam Arunchanyam Topcham. Hannah Morgan Trebor. Stevie Allen Tyree Jr. Lydia Lockery Van Loo. Annika Helene Valentine. Du Weiran. Justin Davis Williams. Jovia Monet Winky. Vanessa Ari Woodfolk. Messiah Nasir Woods. Wu Jia Hong. Hao Tian Wallace Young. Wu Xuan Anna Zhang. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the class of 2019.
And the families and friends that love and support them. Let us always remember that to whom much has been given, much is expected. And help us to remain ever mindful of the needs of others, especially those less fortunate than ourselves. And as our graduates head into the next phase of their lives, and as we all head into what we pray will be a beautiful, relaxing, fulfilling summer, may the love of Alma Mater be with you always. Amen. Audience, please be seated. I'd like to thank everyone for joining us today. Following our graduates recessional, please join us in the Convocation Center Circle for a reception and the opportunity to take some final pictures with classmates, teachers, and friends. Please do remain seated as they recess. Thank you very much for being here today.
Thanks so much. You as well.